In this video, we're taking on another $1,000 dining challenge, this time in the city of Mumbai in the country of India. Every time you see a YouTube video about Indian food, it's street food. It's the most affordable food that you can find in the country. But today I want to know what happens when you drop piles of money on trying to find the best Indian food possible. And that's why we've come here to the Four Seasons. Today I'm going to be showing you the Four Seasons breakfast buffet. I'm going to be giving you a room tour of a room that costs $900 per day. And by the end of today, I'll be taking you to one of the most luxurious, lavish restaurants that exists within this building. A restaurant with over 300 private members. Why are they letting me in? Wait. Why are they letting me in? Don't ask too many questions. Just enjoy the ride. I'm gonna head inside right now to show you the breakfast buffet. Let's move. What's cool about this hotel is it has two buffets. Right now we're on the main level. This is a grab and go buffet. It doesn't really have a ton of Indian food. It's more like pastries, fruits, nuts, coffee, juice. It looks amazing, but today I'm only eating Indian food. So I gotta go upstairs to the bigger second floor buffet. Let's move.
The breakfast buffet is already included with the price of the room, but if you just bought breakfast, it would cost you $19. Not bad.
I went the wrong way.
So let's see how Four Seasons does buffets here in India.
Welcome to the main buffet area. Almost all the food they have here is right here in this center island. But they do also have a separate bread and bakery area. Let's take a look at that first. They have some very typical stuff. A bunch of fruit, tons of little breads, biscuits, bakery items, donuts, and so on. They all look great, but it's not really Indian food. So let's take a look back over there. Boom, Indian food. There's so many things here I've never seen before, but that's what's fun about going to a buffet with Indian food. You can try new things, and they have labels. Kachori, Medu, Vada, and Patra. Moving on over to here. Over here we have a load of chutneys. This is not something you'll find at your old country buffet. You always need a good chutney to go with Indian food. Right here, whoosh, poha and upma. Yeah. Over here we have a more deli meat and cheese section. There's nuts, there's dried fruits. But this is an Idli station. The Idli are like these steamed rice batter pancakes. And on top of it, you put something. Perhaps this right here is Sambar. And that kind of seems to be it. So let's start dishing up. I want to get some of this Idli. It's basically going to have no flavor. And that means that we need to top it with something. But I don't know what to top it with, so I'm going to ask. Excuse me, what should I put on my Idli?
We have this ghee, this puri. You can put it on the Idli.
And Idli powder.
Idli powder, yes.
These two.
Yes.
From here they have a variety of chutneys, coconut chutney, ginger chutney, and since it's morning, a sweet tamarind chutney. So this is a good start. I'm gonna grab a few more things and I'll see you at the table. All right, folks, we have course one right here, an epic Indian breakfast to begin with. This is the idli with 3 different flavors of chutney on top. The coconut chutney is so fibrous, same with the ginger, and then the tamarind just dissolves away into nothing like a syrup. I'm curious, let's see how this tastes. That's pretty good. There's some masala on top, so there's spices, there's a lot of flavor. The tamarind is super sweet. It's basically Indian pancakes. And then the idli has like a white bready type of flavor to it. Here we have the coconut. I should have put even more ghee. I love a good coconut chutney. This is such a spice-heavy country that coconut always just helps like cool everything down. Right here, ooh, a big thick dollop of ginger chutney. Very gingery, very spicy, and not very sweet. This is a wild breakfast because it's just a straight carbohydrate bomb. But then we've got this. This is my saving grace in India. It's called egg bhurji. This dish is an Indian twist on scrambled eggs. It has onions, tomatoes, green chilies, and spices like turmeric, red chili powder, and garam masala. So basically all the flavors of India put into scrambled eggs. Right here we have our pao. I'm gonna do it the American way, like an Indian breakfast sandwich. Let's give it a shot. Oh, even that bun is perfect. Light and fluffy, perfectly holding on to all those eggs. This is like fireworks to start your morning. So this is our first course, but actually, aside from what they have at the buffet, you can actually order food too. So I'm gonna order my next Indian breakfast now. All right, folks, my 2 new courses have arrived. First of all, the dosa. The dosa, it's like a little pancake. This is a good diet food. Meanwhile, here we have the Uttapam. Both of them come with an assortment of chutneys. So we're gonna start with this. Unfortunately, it has cooled down a little bit. The best time to eat the dosa is immediately when it's come off the heat. Oh no, it's a little wrinkly. I think the main deal here is it's like Indian nachos. And it's already been rubbed down with an excellent masala on the inside. Give it a little bit of a dip, some ginger chutney. It's that simple. Very ginger, crunchy. So right here we've got some coconut chutney, and then this is interesting right here because she called it gunpowder. Gunpowder's a scary name. To me that means it's gonna be full of chili powder or super spicy, but let's find out. Oh, that's fantastic. It's definitely spicy, it's definitely salty, and it's good to combine that with the coconut. Overall, I gotta say, this is an excellent texture. Dish number 2, this is like the cousin of the idli. It's made from the same rice batter, but inside they put all kinds of spices and veggies, and instead of steaming it, they pan-fried it. This time I'm gonna try some of this tomato chutney. This is like IHOP, Indian House of Pancakes. Let's go. I like that a lot. That is much more similar to an American pancake texture. Except, you know, there's tomatoes and onions in it. Different flavor profile, different texture, that's for sure.
So that's an elevated Indian breakfast here at the Four Seasons. But this is just the beginning. By the end of this video, I'll show you a premium, exclusive dinner that costs over $200. The most expensive I've ever heard of in India. But first, I'm going to show you what sets this hotel apart aside from the food. The room.
Now, what kind of a room do you get in Mumbai at the Four Seasons for $900 a night? Let's take a look. First of all, this place, when you're paying this amount of money, you get 2 rooms. And right now we're in the living room next to flowers. Hold on. That's a real flower. Moving on. We have a small room right here. Inside of it, a toilet. My wife is not traveling with me this time, but if she was, this would be my designated bathroom and she would get the big one. The key to a long-standing marriage is keeping your bathroom functions as separated as possible. And then here we have another small space. This is perfect for hanging jackets, for hanging coats, or you can come out of the closet. But I will not do that today. Right here we have the desk. A perfect place to get... Bro, we're doing a tour. You can't be in the shot. Get on the shot. Is it weird that I'm an older white guy and I brought 3 young Vietnamese men with me into my hotel room in Mumbai? This is a great place to get work done, to feel like you're the king of your castle. The best part of this room is this. Whoosh. An incredible view of Mumbai Bay. Parts of the city look amazing. There's an awesome city skyline. There's the ocean. But then there's also 3 slums that you're looking down on from the 31st floor. Anyways, finally here we have the drink and food corner. First of all, typical water, glassware, coffee maker, tea, etc. As we go down south right here, we've got a couple candy bars, some cream for the coffee, and then it's all drinks from there. Sprite, Coke, whiskey, vodka, what? That got pretty wild pretty quick. Beyond that, we have a few different types of beer and then wine. So that is beverages, but they also have dry snacks right here. Broad beans, trail mix, cashews, and other cashews. Some greenish masala looking cashews. A little bit of a sniff. Oh yeah, that's masala. Let's try it out. Okay, that's a bit close. It tastes like all the spices put together. Very flavorful. That, you know, it's a good drinking food, because right now, it's making me really crave for some beer. Right now, we're heading into the master bedroom, and it's a pretty straightforward layout here. We have a vanity here, a king-size bed here, a chair for reflecting and contemplation here, and a TV. Finally, we have the bathroom, a small toilet room. I'm not saying you're gonna need that if you're eating street food all day in India, but it couldn't hurt. Probably the best part of this bathroom is not this giant bathtub right here, it's this cute little stool that goes next to it. So I can watch my wife while she bathes and make sure she's comfortable. How you doing? More bubbles? But sadly my wife is not here, I'm just here with 3 Vietnamese guys. So that is the layout. That is what you get at Four Seasons in Mumbai for $900 per day. But what about the food? Next, I'm gonna go check out the room service menu and we're gonna order a bunch of food, see how much it costs, and see what it looks like. The food has arrived. Let's take a look. Hi, how you doing?
I can hold this for you.
Oh, okay. And then I push the food in? Oh.
This room service feast is a mix of the best dishes from all over India.
This whole room smells intensely of Indian spices.
Let me walk you through it. First, 9 mini samosas for about $10. Next, a Mumbai snack, pav bhaji, for over $11. A cheesy toasty, coming in at nearly $16.
This is something new for me. It is paneer lababdar. Lababdar? Am I saying it right?
This costs over $18. And the most expensive dish on the table, lamb Joe Rogan, coming in at more than $22.
I know it's called Lamb Rogan Josh. On the phone, I said, can I get a Lamb Joe Rogan? Could I have Lamb Joe Rogan? And he knew exactly what I meant.
This fancy feast costs a total of $140, including a Diet Coke and a glass of wine.
Let's start with something simple like this, the samosa. A nice, super flaky, thin crust on the outside. Let's give it a shot. Respectable, warm, crispy, flaky outside, steamy, mashed potato inside with plenty of spices. Oh, and layers of flavor. It hits you like waves on the ocean, like on the beach, huh? This you can also put into the sweet tamarind chutney right here. Very good. Let's go to this right here. The Bombay Toasty. It's complete with beetroot, cucumber, potato, onion, tomato, bell pepper, coriander chutney, processed cheese, and french fries. That is fascinating. So there's no meat, and there's cheese, but it's processed. I'm gonna break it all the way in half. Let's give it a shot. I feel mixed. There's no meat. It's like a grilled cheese where they dumped a bunch of vegetables on top. The toasty part is nice. This is the processed cheese that's melted onto the plate. Let's go for the cheese. Indeed processed. Next time I think I'll just take it with only cheese. The next one we're moving on to right here is the pav bhaji. Camera guy doesn't know where to look. Right here is our pav bun. Right here is our bhaji gravy. That is basically a bunch of different vegetables and spices. That is what's gonna go on our bread. Indian overload. Let's go for it. Delicious. Oh, spicy too. It somehow tastes like it's full of Indian spices, but it tastes fresh too. This is that premium pav bhaji experience I was looking for. Very good. We have two dishes remaining. The first one right here is paneer lababdar. Lababdar. Paneer lababdar. It says it is cottage cheese, bell peppers, and all that is cooked in a rich makhani gravy. I don't know what kind of gravy that is. Oh yeah. The essence of curry leaves is strong. Paneer is the best. It is like big, lovely cheese blocks that have a wonderful texture as you rip your teeth through them. It is time to cleanse my palate. That's how you make your stomach numb. Moving on to our final main course right here, the lamb Rogan Josh. Despite its name sounding like it could belong to a white guy, the term Rogan Josh actually has roots in Persian and Kashmiri languages, not in English. So guys, stop calling it Lamb Joe Rogan. That is actually offensive. Oh, there's that lamb. Nice gravy. You can see those bones. I'm gonna put some rice down as a foundation. Let's put that gravy over the rice and some of that meat too. Oh yeah. I taste a tomatoey base and I taste a lot of that lamb flavor coming through. Yes, it's still full of similar Indian spices, but this time with some real animal fat. Oh, look at that. The meat just falls right off of the bone. Juicy and tender. I love it. So that is all of our main courses, but I want to know from the people watching, especially the Indian folks, what do you think of this high-end hotel Indian food? But while you do that, I'm moving on to dessert, an iconic of India, gulab jamun, sweet sugary balls. They're literally just bathing in a sweet syrup. I love that. It's so dense and so sweet. So that is room service at the Four Seasons here in Mumbai. $140 on one table. But we still have one crucial meal left for the day. The most expensive meal, the most premium experience you can have at this hotel. Dinner at a very exclusive restaurant. Join me as we check out the height of Indian food luxury. Let's move.
To experience this luxury dinner, you have to be a member of the restaurant known as The Modernist, an exclusive private club with a capped membership of 300. So you might be asking, why are they allowing me to enter and why hasn't security tackled me to the ground? It's all thanks to Miss Radhika, the marketing manager of the Four Seasons Mumbai. She was kind enough to give me a sneak peek.
How does one get a membership?
It's a very select group of guests who are part of our 300. It's also more on word of mouth. Members very often recommend their friends. There is a fee involved, of course there is.
How much does a membership cost?
It is mysterious and some of the biggest deals in Mumbai may or may not have happened in some of these rooms. Again, off the record, so.
Well, that's what I say. Some of the most beautiful women in the world may or may not have been in my house. But probably not actually though.
This meeting room, located just off the main restaurant, is also for club members. Everything inside is custom made, and the service, beverages, and food are top notch.
We've studied you as a person right now, and we've picked what we think you'd like the best. Hope you have a fantastic meal.
Let's do it. All right, folks, the first course has arrived. I'm very excited. Hello. Say it again.
So we first have our deconstructed Dahi Vada. Then we have our Pani Puri sampler.
Oh my gosh.
We have 6 different types of water. This is our burrata chaat with khakra. So that's our chaat sampler.
Wow, this is just the appetizer. This first food right here reminds me of an Indian street food known as sev puri. The difference is this is a more elevated version. Give it a shot. Oh, that's good. A little spicy, but a ton of sweetness and creaminess coming through. I like it. Then we move on to this, pani puri. This is the seasoned water, and then this is the puri. Now, this is a round cracker, and you can see that inside they've stuffed different stuff. Let's give this one a try. I'm gonna fill it with this juice, and I'm gonna throw it back. Delicious. It tastes like coriander, It's spicy, it's a little bit sweet. There's some potato inside, so it's got some crunch, but it's got some mushy body to it too. It's really an elevated pani puri. I've never seen anything like this. I'll try one more. Look at that color of green. Oh, you gotta go quick. This one has a load of cumin and is very spicy. Each one is just a different explosion of flavored waters. Very cool.
Next we have drumstick rasam. No, not that kind of drumstick. I'm talking about this one.
Drumstick is a vegetable I've just heard about during this trip. It's really hard and fibrous, but I guess they use it for flavoring? It looks very beautiful. I like that they bring it out to the table and they pour it for you to see. Let's see how it tastes. Ooh, spicy. Wow, that is full of spice. A deep savory quality to it. There is no distinct flavor of drumstick that I could taste, but it does taste like chili powder, like turmeric, and like beans.
That's our appetizer, but we still have many courses ahead to justify the cost of this $212 meal. Next up, this.
Right here, a green chutney and an orange chutney. Oh wait, there's more. I see steam or smoke. Oh my gosh, what is this? It's like a little tandoor at the table.
For our next course, a selection of kebabs. First, the non-veg option, tandoori cooked chutney wali sea bass, alongside a roasted lamb chop. Then there's the vegetarian stuffed potato.
You can see the stuffing is kind of oozing out there. Oh, there we go. A hollowed out and stuffed potato. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a hit of a chutney. Oh. Cheers. The potatoes kind of developed a bit of a skin, and then on the inside there are just tons of spices, a very unique ingredient. And then when you put the chutney on top of that, boom, flavored grenade. Right here, the protein. We've got the turf, the lamb. Oh, very tender. That is an excellent, juicy looking piece of lamb. So I've never had a tasting menu like this before. It's like they're breaking all the rules. They're bringing out a freaking stuffed tandoor potato. They're bringing out 2 meats, no side of potato. I mean, mashed potato, no vegetable. We're getting straight to the good stuff. I taste turmeric, I taste love, and I taste passion. That's what I taste in that lamb right there. I'm very impressed.
For the next 2 courses, we'll be exploring northern and southern Indian cuisine, starting with the south.
For our next dish, we're actually gonna get to see it being made right in front of us. This is called an Uttapam, and he starts with a batter. The batter is made from fermented rice flour. So he puts it on this tiny hot skillet, wok, tawa, I don't know. I've never seen a pan like this. And he spreads it around until it becomes a thin layer, covers it up. Next, he grabs an egg, cracks it, and drops it right in the center of the Uttapam. Cover it up again.
Once the egg's been cooked, the dish receives some shaved black truffle before it's escorted to the table.
This is the Uttapam, which we just saw being made. To go with that, we have a chicken stew, and soon we will reveal what's inside of this leaf. It's a fish, but you'll see what type of fish soon. So this looks awesome. It reminds me of a food that I've tried in Sri Lanka, which is known as a hopper, which is kind of the same thing, rice batter and an egg, but putting truffle in it. It's a unique take on this dish and a fun way to elevate it to new heights, and it smells so dang good. And I'm told I can rip open parts of this and dip it into the stew. Let's get some truffle, scoop up some of that chicken stew. That's a creamy mess. Let's give it a shot. Amazing. Delicious chicken and just a super thick coconut sauce. Perfect to pair it with this right here. I want to kind of rip that yolk in half, that prized yolk. Yolk, truffle, and pancake together. And we can get a little bit of a dip over here. Undeniable. The combination of the egg with the pancake. It's like my new favorite food. So that is our first course. For the next food on our South Indian spread, we have this right here. Let's open it up. Whoosh. I've been told to immediately hit it with this fresh coriander, and that is gorgeous. So this fish is a pomfret. First is they sear it, then they put it in the leaf and they steam it, and this is the outcome. That looks really nice. The pomfret absolutely smothered and dyed with yummy Indian spices. It's such a light, flaky fish, but they've given it such bold flavor. A little coriander. What a combination.
Now we're moving from South India to the north with a selection of food buckets. All of these dishes are inspired by the city of Amritsar. There, the Golden Temple houses a good Vada that runs a massive charity kitchen, serving thousands of meals daily in buckets just like these. In our first bucket, we have a classic Punjabi winter dish, sarson ka saag, served alongside this.
The roti made with 100% corn. Look at that. Ooh, what would an Indian do? What else do I put on here? Butter? Okay, I'll put butter on this. Why not? Cheers. Oh my lord. Everything here is delicious. It's made of 100% corn, so it's a little bit more dry than like a wheat roti. But when you mix that with the gentle savoriness of these greens right here, and then of course the fattiness of that butter, it's a soothing combination.
Our second bucket holds a chickpea curry, Amritsari chole, which goes with tandoori bread or kulcha.
Oh yeah, look at that. Chunky, full of spices, many shades of brown. So we're gonna hit this with a little bit of this. And if you're feeling wild, you can even hit it with a little bit of this sweet masala, turning that brown a nicer shade of brown. Here we go. It's such a different experience from the South Indian food. It's savory, it's bursting with spices, it's a bit intense, but then you get that tamarind, that sweet chutney in there. It balances everything out, but the real star here, I think, is this bread. This bread is kind of elastic. It's soft, and it's so delicious when paired with that chole as kind of a chole carrying vehicle. So if all the spice gets a little bit too intense, you can always wash it down with a lassi. This lassi flavored with saffron, and that's how you know it's very, very fancy.
At last, our two most expensive dishes have arrived. Let's start with the lamb shank, a dish inspired by Nali Nihari.
So the story to the Nihari is very iconic because initially it's from Lucknow and Nali Nihari is from the king's kitchens. But Nihari actually is supposed to be a local man's food and it's a braised stew kind of thing. So all the offcuts are actually kept overnight and it's stewed for a very, very long time. And then it is served as the first thing in the morning. And it's so hearty and it's so heavy so that it takes you through the day, and the common man can survive on it all the way till the evening when he has his next meal.
So the first thing I'm going to do is pour the gravy over everything. Oh, this is the most rich, delicious gravy you will find anywhere. I would say that Nihari is one of my top 5 favorite Indian foods. I've had the kind of common man's version of it, and now we're going to have the elevated Four Seasons version of it right here. I'm going to sink my spoon into this fatty gravy. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah. Delicious, delicate saffron rice. You can taste the elevated touches of the dish. It's hard to say, does it make it better? Like Nihari is kind of a 10 out of 10 food already. It's different, but it's still very good. Just rich and decadent. It's the savory version of like a liquid chocolate. Right here we have the lamb, the actual Nihari itself. Oh my God. 10 out of 10 delicious. It just has an amazing texture. It's falling apart, but it still has some bite to it. It's amazing seeing the transformation of this common food made into an opulent, luxurious food, and the taste is still amazing as ever.
Right here is our final course, a clay pot sealed shut through the use of dough. This classic Indian cooking technique keeps all the flavors locked inside. And now it's time to break that seal and reveal the steamy biryani within.
Now with the final rice course that we have, these are Kashmiri morels. We call them as gucci, and we have the biryani made out of it, flavored with saffron, some brown onions, mint and coriander.
You might not be familiar with these local Kashmiri mushrooms, considering they're not used in everyday food. These hand-picked morel mushrooms grow naturally in the damp forests of northern India, making them extremely rare. That's why they can cost nearly $150 per pound, meaning this is going to be one expensive dish, right?
Just the biryani, if we look at one portion, would be around about 4,500 to 5,000 rupees a portion.
Which is like $40?
I'll have to do the math for that.
Yeah, me too. Let's put it on screen. And then for the entire experience today, can you tell me about the price?
For the entire experience, along with the desserts which we'll serve now next, the whole meal would be around 18,000 rupees.
Chef, thank you so much. I'm gonna try just the biryani rice. Let's give it a shot. It's really a nice, light, more subtle flavor. There's also the taste of saffron throughout the rice, weaving its way into every bite. Let's try that morel mushroom. The mushroom has soaked up all the spices. It's got a nice meaty bite to it. It's delicious. And here's what I love about what they're doing here. There's no component of this dish that's been outsourced to another nation. It's all from within the borders of India, and it tastes amazing, but for a price. And that price is $212. Do you think it's worth it? I know people are gonna say, oh, $212, I could eat for a month with that. Not Americans. But what do you think, my Indian friends? Is this something you would like to try for yourself? So from here, I'm gonna head outside and tell you the total amount of money I spent on food and lodging for the day. Let's move. Today I set out to eat the most glamorous, opulent food I could find here in the city of Mumbai, in the country of India. Was I successful? Well, I think I was. But let's talk about how much money I spent. First of all, the room, $900. Breakfast, well, it came with the room. It was free with the price of the room. Room service, $140. To be honest, probably you don't need that much food. And then let's talk about dinner. For that 8-course meal with 15 to 16 different foods, the price was $212. Add it all together and I spent this much today. Did I hit my goal of spending over $1,000? In fact, I did. By the way, please note that I did not eat the final course, but it was a dessert. It was a ice cream that tasted like pan. It was a pan ice cream, a very nice way to end the meal. And it was also another very beautiful dessert that comes from Rajasthan. Otherwise, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace. All right, now I can leave the restaurant that way, but if I leave that way, I don't have to pay my bill. Tempting. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go.